It's always great when a plan comes together, especially if it involves a lot of people, juggling their schedules, watching the weather, and adding an offshore overnight fishing trip. This week, Gary Finch Outdoors, the Shady Lady out of Zeke's Marina, and the Fishin Chicks have combined our forces to do just that. The goal is to experience a great 2-night trip and find something that will pull our line and stretch our muscles. Step aboard the Shady Lady and join the other ladies of the Fishin Chicks fishing team. They will be testing the deep waters of the Gulf on an overnight oil rig fishing trip that you don't want to miss. It's all coming up next, right here on Gary Finch Outdoors. When it came time to take the Fishin Chicks group on an extended overnight offshore trip, the Shady Lady was the perfect boat for the job. Weeks of preparation and scheduling had been accomplished before we stepped aboard for departure. The goal was to make this a smooth, successful trip that held promise for great fishing. Claudia Espenscheid had assembled her team, and now they were actually going fishing. Captain Eddie Hall said there would be no stops on the way out, and everyone should relax. They would need their rest when they arrived at the first rig. It was a good opportunity for everyone to introduce themselves and share fish stories. For some of the anglers, it was the first time for them to experience a sundown at sea. Approaching an offshore rig at night has the appearance of decorative lighting. The closer you get, the more impressive the size of the structure becomes. It didn't take long for our group to test the lights at this first drop location.
Lonnie, you just got 8.
All right. We are aboard the Shady Lady. We're fishing out here with the Fishin Chicks. We're at the Independence Hub. We are 144 miles south of Orange Beach, Alabama. We ran all day and ran half the night. We're all catching a bunch of tuna on these diamond, what we call diamond jigs. They're a different form, but we got fish coming over the boat. We got some big yellowfin breaking. So hopefully, as daylight approaches, which is it's 4:20 right now, so maybe they'll pick up, and got a great crew. And Murphy back here's already caught 1 yellowfin and a couple blackfin, so it looks promising. So we'll keep jigging, and we're chunking, throwing out chum, and hopefully we'll work on them. Deep water and tuna are a combination that demands a strong back and plenty of cranking.
Right.
Now there's a fish in there. It's huge. I'm kidding. My warm-up fish.
Great fish.
You want to do this one? Nice.
Good job, nice one. When the sun came up, Captain Eddie was not seeing the large tuna around the rig that he wanted. His decision was to make a move to another site. As we made our way to the next rig, I was able to ask Claudia about the Fishin Chicks group that she founded.
About 5 years ago, after all the tropical storms and hurricanes that we had in the area, I just took to fishing. I mean, it was strange, but I guess Mother Nature kind of prodded me along. I learned how to fish, and a lot of my girlfriends who had never fished before, they started becoming interested, and it kind of just spread. So now we're at a point where we have members in 40 states. We put on fishing tournaments, and we have a line of apparel and footwear. But the funnest part, I have to say, is days like this, or I should say a couple of days like this, where we're out catching really nice fish.
Yeah, talk about a little bit about being a member and how people can become a member about it, and what are they getting out of the membership?
Okay. For $50, you become an annual member. You can do that online at fishinchix.com. And for that, you get some Fishin Chix goodies so that you look like a real Fishin Chix with a membership shirt and a gut rag, a koozie, a decal, so you're all ready to go. And then in addition to that, it allows you to participate in our Fishin Chix only events like this outing that we've had here to the oil rigs this weekend. To sum it all up, I think we're about having fun. I mean, Fishin Chix is about getting outside, getting on the water. We have a lot of mothers, daughters, grandmothers that love to fish together. I mean, historically, as you know, fishing has been considered a man's world, a man's sport. And we're coming to find that that's really no longer true. I mean, women love to get outdoors, love to have that feeling of bringing in a giant fish just as much as the guys do. So, you know, if you want some more information on Fishin Chix, they can, you know, go online at fishinchix.com or give us a call, and you know, we're there for them.
The Fishin Chix get in the fighting chair when we return to Gary Finch Outdoors.
Despite the Deepwater Horizon incident in 2010 in the Gulf of Mexico, saltwater anglers before and since that disaster will still tell you that some of the best fishing is found around the rigs. These man-made structures can be found along the coast and in deeper waters of the Gulf that range from 16 feet to over 5,000 feet. That diversity of placement and depth provides structure for a wide variety of species. From the 20-pound snapper found close to shore to huge deep-water tuna and world-class billfish, these rigs and platforms obviously provide something that all fish seem to like or find lacking in other parts of the ocean. The answer is structure. Structure so large that it holds several species of both bait and predator fish. An entire food chain can be established at the side of a rig. The shallow water rigs provides a column of steel that stretches from the surface and expands at the bottom. This provides structure throughout the layers of water and supports both surface cruising predators as well as bottom-dwelling reef fish. Snapper and grouper fishermen have always recognized the benefits of tossing out at least one king mackerel line while bottom fishing a rig. Big game anglers know the deeper the water, the bigger the rig, and the bigger the fish. Huge yellowfin tuna, well over 100 pounds, and impressive blue marlin in the 500-pound class have been known to frequent deepwater rigs that produce their favorite foods. Like it or not, oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico are a reality. Anglers will also be the first to say that every precaution and regulation should be maintained to ensure the safe operation of these rigs in our Gulf of Mexico. At the same time, at least there's a silver lining for recreational fishermen who enjoy catching fish off these productive locations. From the tower, Captain Eddie was instructing everyone to get a good meal from the morning's catch. The rest of the day was going to be spent fishing, and everyone would need their strength. The roomy salon of the Shady Lady can be quickly converted to a dining hall with a buffet. The ladies had already established their lineup, and Hallie Burnett was going to be first in the chair. Oh, what do you got?
I don't know, but I hope he's big because my arms are retired.
I'm doing a good job of level line.
He's not very big. I don't care. He's big. What is it? Aw. Hey,
It was clear that the big tuna had not shown up on the rigs yet. Captain Eddie made the decision to tackle amberjack in the morning before continuing the search for the big yellowfin.
that's my reef donkey. Good job, Claudia. You got your reef donkey. Woo! Reef donkey.
Good job.
Wow.
Got going. Hey. Keep real. You're doing good. Keep real. Lower it down, lower it down.
some bait while we're out there. Have some bait.
Hey, Eddie, kick it forward just a little bit. Finger.
Now that we had some large amberjack in the box, spirits were lifted and we were back in the hunt for some large tuna. Trolling didn't seem to be getting the job done in the clear blue water. Captain Eddie Hall and Patrick Phillips decided to change their strategy for these finicky fish.
What we're doing here is what we're trying to do is it's called match the hatch. You try to catch bait from the rig that you're fishing on, so that way you can use those for bait, because the bigger predator fish around here now, because the predator fish are used to seeing those. And when they get too far away from these legs, that's when they get in trouble, and the predator fish, you got access to them. So what you try to do is you try to catch the bait local. That way you can carry them out here. We're going to try to fly them on a kite, maybe bump them around, live bait them, and see if we can raise some of these big tunas that way. This is what bait fish are hanging around this rig. So we're going to take them out here. We're going to put them on the kite. There's some nice tunas busting around. We're going to see what we can get done with them.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.